I think we might actually be seeing something crazy right now if Kib actually stays on Bastion, but usually people are just messing with us. King's Row is usually pretty standard. It's a lot of Reinhardt play, and I think it really does come down to the Reinhardts, and people usually won't give them credit, but those Earth Shatters and defending your team is the biggest role here.
Okay, and well, we have Kib as well. It's been talked about on the desk quite a bit, but it's so important that we actually keep an eye on this man because he's the first guy to ever be picked up from the competitive ladder to be joining a professional team. That says a lot about their confidence in him.
Absolutely, it's really cool to see teams picking up players and finding them that way. So many teams have found players just because they ran into them in ranked games and thought they did well, add them to their friends. It's been a long time coming. A lot of pro players already knew each other, but just finding new people in Overwatch it's actually one of the easiest times I've ever had in a game is to meet new people.
Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. REUNITED on the attack, and Kib's going to be sporting his Hanzo here that we've seen quite a few times, even using it to scout out that hotel towards the left side to get some information. And you can already see them actually backing away, but Kib gets torqued actually off to the side, gets someone, he gets a little bit too aggressive. That's an initial kill that they were looking for. And another. He gets two. JKW is going to fall unfixed on the Roadhog, trying to provide some cover towards the left-hand side, but will Kib get a third?
This is actually the first time today we've even seen someone try to really play Hanzo. Usually people use the sonar arrow at the beginning to just get a scout, but he's actually walked forward with it and has done really, really well. Got 2 picks, that's all they needed, and they just walk away and take this point really easily without really any contention.
Yeah, and that's been the question we've had for Kib and this player in particular. Can he play other things besides Genji? And we're starting to see he can play some Hanzo, he's played some Reaper in the past, and he made quick work at this initial capture. You can see him and Valataja paired up together to be very aggressive here on this death alleyway. And now compLexity, they've had a chance to build up some more percent. You can see Shake about to have that Transcendence available, and REUNITED, unfortunately, besides Kib, have had no opportunity to really build up too much ult just yet. But the fight's going to break out momentarily. You can see Valataja gets the flashbang over that shield, and they're quickly going to back away, because look at that. That's going to be an overextended hard blue. Came in from the top side. Valataja, Ringhaven both picked up a kill apiece, and that charge did come through to separate that Zenyatta from the rest of the team.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate. Shake popped his ultimate on Zenyatta extremely early in that fight. That was the one thing that they had that could actually help them stabilize here. And there wasn't too much going on. They didn't have a really good fight there at all at any point.
And ladies and gentlemen, this is why we're seeing Envious say REUNITED is probably their biggest fear in this entire tournament, the biggest team they're looking out for. This is a team who's played so many times on this stage right here, back in Battlefield 4, back in previous games, and they sure as hell want to secure another title under their belt. But they have a lot of teams to go through, and compLexity looking to finally put up a good defense, and Kib, he's still sticking on his Hanzo here.
Kib is just trying to lay down this dragon, make sure nobody can get forward. They have to get this point right here. Getting this checkpoint is extremely crucial, so we have Kib being as aggressive as he can on the Hanzo, doing as much damage as he can. Not too many people being able to even walk forward into this team. They're just so dominant. The Hanzo's putting out so much damage that they don't want to even walk forward to contest. That was masterfully done.
That was an insane time. 2 minutes and 20 seconds into this first half, and REUNITED are already knocking on that door to the final push, and there's actually Kib on the high ground again, just trying to snipe away the best he can. Mort's going to have the Transcendence available in this next fight if we do see compLexity finally put up a defense, and it's all on hard blue with that grab at the surge. It's going to be coming through. It's going to be countered by the Transcendence, as you can see, and they're not able to focus down anyone. And Kib towards the high ground is able to get some decent damage in. JKW is going to be the first meta falls. Unfixed able to secure that one to his belt, and Kib's still not being dealt with. He's not being actually contested at all.
There's no one who can go up there to fight Kib. There's not a single character on the team. There's not a Genji, there's not a Pharah. There's no one who can even get up there to even stop him. He's almost at another ult charge. He's going to be firing at one of the gates in a second where people are trying to come out of. Not even able to get out here. Unfixed coming forward with the ultimate, locking them down, and that's just it. They weren't even able to get next to
Nicholas, you had your raid form, you had the ability to walk there, and yet they walked all over them, and the hands down fastest time we've seen in the entirety of today. 3 minutes and 1 second is what REUNITED put up on the initial attack.
That is absolutely absurd, and starting this off saying I was excited to see compLexity play. Oh, you guys let me down a little bit. I hope you can make this look fair. You're probably not going to beat 3 minutes. I would be shocked to see a team even do what we just saw right now, but it's possible. Make me proud. Do your best.
So let me ask you from this, because I tried to ask Huck this earlier on the desk. I just didn't have the time to. If you're attacking second, and you know the time to beat is now 3 minutes and 1 second, how does that mentally affect you going into your attacking half?
I think usually that will amp up teams quite a bit. I think it actually has that good effect on you where you know you have to do better. So many times you see people set these impossible times and the other team just fires right back.
Yeah.
I don't think it's unreasonable to see a good match here, but it's so much to live up to after Kib just had them shaking in their boots.
And the question is this Hanzo just that good, or is it just the fact that they didn't feel pressure by compLexity and he didn't need to switch off it?
I don't think he felt any pressure ever. He had his tank line in front of him. He just was able to stand behind the Reinhardt, put out consistent damage. Everyone, I think, you get that fear in your heart that you know Hanzo can one-shot you. You don't want to risk getting one shot by him, so you stand back. And they just were able to push forward throughout the entirety of that whole match.
Not to mention the opening kill he got over onto Torque as he got really aggressive on the McCree because they wanted to push forward. Gets a clean headshot onto him, and just like that, REUNITED, they attacked and they swarmed all over that point. But now we need to see compLexity do that. There is a chance for them to finish off the entire map if they do fail the first attack, but if they fail 2 in a row, you can pretty much just draw the curtains down on them on this first match.
Yeah, and we're seeing them get ready at the gate. Definitely a lot of pressure rides on Lucio here because you need to do this quickly. The speed boosts are going to be key coming out here from compLexity. They need to really be going now, not any delay. Nice stun on the Reaper, but being saved by the Zarya. Not able to set up anything yet. He's already taken down. This is already a failed push, and that might even be just enough to make this not work out.
Well, you got to have hopes for compLexity, even though if they are unsuccessful and actually capture this first point, but they did pick up quite a few kills, so there is a chance on the respawn for them to have a man advantage. It just comes down to how quickly Joe Meister's going to get there in time and how quickly they force that attack. And you saw Kib just sitting inside the statue waiting for his moment to shine. The flashbang came through, but it didn't matter because Unfix was on point with that shield ready to go. And you can see him even absorbing that fire strike. Just get a little bit more energy, build up that ult percent a little bit quicker, and try to close out this first map.
These respawns took a little bit too long. Things are about even again. We have Kib taking down Joe Meister, and it looks like he is just going crazy. Winghaven with the double kill on Reinhardt, and still just so perfectly holding this. This is way more one-sided than I could have ever expected.
And now we're a minute into this half already. There's 2 minutes left to go for the side of compLexity, and now REUNITED, they have Earthshatter, they have Death Loss, and they're gonna have Deadeye momentarily, and Kib's in the perfect position to completely shut down compLexity's attack, but they're running a Winston this time, so they want to get really aggressive.
They don't have the time to think about that someone might be behind them. He already gets stunned, he gets taken down, but I think he did a ton of damage, was worth it. Unfixed here, throwing down the Graviton Surge, coming behind everybody, dealing high damage, 85% charge, cleans everybody up. Reinhardt comes through, finishes him off, and that is definitely it. There is no way they're going to be beating this in 3 minutes.
And you saw Unfixed there too. With the Graviton Surge being used, he flanks around the back, behind the Reinhardt, behind JKW, and what does he do? Does he right-click? No. He tries to focus down Torque immediately to completely dismantle that Deadeye, to not even have a chance for attack. But compLexity, they're going to give it one more go, and most certainly after that, GG's will be called. But Hardblue wants to pop that Promer Rage, wants to look for a killer, so even the Transcendence being used out of Shake, but the Earthshatter comes in out of Winghaven, it connects really well. The problem is, they're not able to burst anyone down through the Transcendence. Torque is finally able to take Cruz down, and Hardblue's able to keep Winghaven into the corner, but no one keeps him in the corner for long, is eventually able to be taken down, not able to fight his way out from this one, but the time's just taken away. As long as REUNITED just keep buying seconds upon seconds, compLexity will have lost this first map. Oh, and Kib put the nail in the coffin.
He had no business getting that many kills there. compLexity finally had a chance to feel good about themselves, and that's so important here, that even if they know they lost, they can say at the end, we were able to take the point. At least we were able to do it eventually, but Kib is just uncontested.
So, sir,
kissing a bus. Kissing a bus.
I think everyone out there thought Envious were going to give us our most one-sided games of the day, but no, I think REUNITED just hands down gave it to us right there. That was insane play out of them. They hold the first point, they finish in 3 minutes and 1 second on the attacking side, and now compLexity, I mean, they have a couple minutes to breathe, a couple minutes to talk things over, but you look at that, what potential mistake could you have fixed from now till the next match?
They have a lot of... I think you just have to pick yourself back up again and try your best, because I know compLexity isn't that bad of a team.
Yeah.
They should be able to figure this out. When they're choosing the map, they're going to be able to do a strategy that they're more comfortable with, something that they're used to, and I think they can work this out, and that win will propel them back into a good state of mind here.
And the thing is, like you said, compLexity's not a bad team. This is a team who's beaten Cloud9 many times. This is a team who can challenge out the best of the North America teams. Do you think it's the NA versus EU metas that kind of caught them off guard there?
I think really the Hanzo caught him off guard. I don't know about the first point defense. That was pretty unfortunate, but the Hanzo, they certainly weren't ready for a Hanzo.
Kib just looking like, yeah, another day at the office for me here.
Yeah, so what?
Yeah.
So what?
In the meantime, though, let's head over to Zoe so they can break down that first map with any way they can.
Try our best. Now, yeah, Huck was already shaking his head, like, oh, well, you predicted the other games, right? So I think you can get that one. It's
Even
okay.
it out. Yeah, I mean, it's not over
I think
yet.
you're still over the top. You're still kind of on top.
Okay, good.
Definitely. For me, anyway.
The fat lady hasn't sung.
Yeah.
That was
No.
one thing, but that was
Damn it.
brutal.
I missed my chance.
Yeah.
I missed my chance to talk about Hanzo because REUNITED and Rogue both have used it a number of times on King's Row, and I totally forgot about it. And now I missed my chance to look great.
Do you
okay,
think that
T-Man, we
Hanzo
believe
really...
you.
I still believe.
We believe you.
And now I've got the second thing
Do
right
you
as
guys
well.
think that compLexity didn't kind of expect a Hanzo at least? Because you did say that REUNITED have played them before. We have seen him today already as well. So it's not like that will be like the uber mega upset pick per se.
I don't know. They're going to have to do something special. That's, no matter who you are, losing in 3 minutes, 3 seconds on King's
Is
Row
that a record?
is pretty
I'm
embarrassing.
wondering.
That's
Or
got to
it's
be
close.
close.
Yeah,
in
it's
a
gotta
pro
be
game,
close.
absolutely. On a stage like this, 100%. But
But
it is the first map, and we've got the next map already
Yeah,
decided.
all right.
And I'm feeling a little bit good about this one because we are headed to Watch Point Gibraltar, where we actually got a chance to watch this team, compLexity, play on this map last week in the Overwatch Open qualifier. And again, it all comes down to Harblu. If he's going to be able to hit the hooks like we all know he can, compLexity still have a chance. But man, what a whopping. I could have never expected anything like that, and no one would have even predicted that. And I just wonder what happened. I mean, compLexity is not a bad team. How did they just disintegrate like that? I
They
have a hard
looked
time.
like a bad team.
Yeah.
That looked horrendous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was one
Wow.
of those awkward moments because obviously using the Hanzo, they got a couple of picks on the defense. Immediately, you're in a 4v6 position. You're not going to hold that point. And then obviously we saw REUNITED go aggressive in the streets. And the problem with the street battle, if you go aggressive against aggressive and you lose out against the attacking team, you're going to lose that entire street section where you can gain so much time. What I will say about Watch Point Gibraltar coming up, Harblu was made famous for here, but that was in the previous version, obviously, when their defense was down the bottom and he was landing hook after hook, and it worked very well. I'm not so sure it's going to work out so well against REUNITED. It's going to be a tricky defensive hold.
yeah, I mean, they definitely showed that it's not going to be easy to win against them. 3 minutes and 3 seconds. That was quite a time. We of course hope that the second game is going to get a little bit closer. Watch Point Gibraltar is the map we're going to heading to, just as a certain someone here on the panel predicted. And for all the action, we once more going to head over to our casters.
Thank you for that, Zoe. And I know both of us and everyone out there are hoping for a really good match on Watch Point Gibraltar between these two teams. We don't want to see a 2-0 here. These are the top 8 teams in the world.
Yeah.
We want to see the best matches we possibly can have. And Gibraltar, we should talk about this map a little bit here, Stir.
Just like Ben was saying a second ago, we did see Harblu recently go very crazy on this map in order to qualify. You'd have to know that going in, though, that Harblu is someone that they're relying on a lot to hit those hooks. You know that they're going to have a Roadhog. You just need to have your Zenyatta play a little bit carefully, put the discords on him, clear him out, and you should be fine after that. Gibraltar, though, is, I'd say, a pretty common map. Players enjoy this one.
It's definitely the longest one, and it's definitely the most diverse, I'd say, when you come into that hangar phase. The only thing I'm worried about here for compLexity, and I'm not sure if they did their homework on this, REUNITED beat NIP in the Overwatch Open qualifiers in 2 minutes and 55 seconds on attack. On Gibraltar, on the longest map, they won in one of the quickest times we've ever seen in competitive history.
I wouldn't know if you put 3 people on the cart uncontested that you could even do this map in that amount of time. So to beat NIP, which is a pretty good team too, up and coming as well, that is phenomenal. compLexity has it cut out for them, and they're going to be starting off on defense here. They do have Harblu on that Roadhog. He should be feeling pretty confident. He's going to need to feel confident in order to take some people out here.
Now, on defense, though, so would you like to see him on defense or more on offense to make the plays happen with those hooks?
He was able to make the Roadhog work on defense in a pretty interesting way. They do like to hold the server room a little bit and get those hooks. It worked out in a way that, I don't know, a lot of people have given up faith on Roadhog, but I'm a believer. Let's just leave it like that.
Yeah, well, we're seeing actually both teams currently sitting on a couple of questionable heroes. It looks like we will be kicked this one off. So we have a soldier out of Harblu, not going to see the Roadhog, it seems. Apparently, no, it looks like we will be going back to lobby. Both teams are saying they're not ready. It looks like there's a couple of sound issues, so we can't take what they've actually picked as reality. They're not going to probably see the soldier out of Harblu. That Roadhog was looking mighty fine for him. Kib, though, we will probably see on Genji, and I was saying to you before, you know, you look at his Hanzo, and he's damn good, but his Genji's even better.
Yeah, so unfortunately, a couple technical issues there. Hopefully, compLexity isn't just nervous and messed something up and, you know, spilled some water on their computer. We should be back there in just a second, checking out that map. Again, excited to get it started off. There's a lot of interesting holds you can do on Gibraltar. It's is nowhere really safe to stand as the defender, so it's questionable what you could do. You're asking about Roadhog. What would you like to see from...
Well, you said something, I believe. Yeah, it was you on the desk in a break that we had.
Yep.
May, you wall off the front entrance of server room, you were saying, and then you can just push the payload free. Like, there's nothing they can do to stop it, really.
I've never seen anyone do it. I've done it in a couple of ranked games. No one expects the wall there.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh, wait. Then you push the cart for free, and by the time the wall's down, no one is ready. But you have to know that the team is holding in that server room, and it's been a kind of scattered defense. Every team kind of has their own touch on Gibraltar.
And I guess that's the advantage of attacking on the side. You do have the opportunity to switch if you do need to. And at the same rate, with REUNITED already pretty much putting down a landslide on the first map, there's no need for them at all to show anything too crazy. They don't need to show anything special, like we saw the Anna before, the Dig versus Misfits game. We are finding into the game, guys. REUNITED's still going to be on the attack. Farah, there is potential to see it, though I'm not going to expect it.
Again, I would love to see more Ana. We saw Ana earlier on this map, and I think it's really good, but a lot of players haven't really found that. Everyone, of course, really still sticking to Zenyatta, who's quite powerful at the moment. People assembling heroes. We do have that Farah that I know it's not going to happen. Deep down in my soul, I'd love to see it, though.
I love the whole Farah Mercy combo, the whole Farah Mercy meta back in the day, because it was so cool to see the fight happen on different levels of altitude. There was one of the fight on the ground, and there was the 2v2 fight in the air. And whoever won the 2v2 fight in the air typically would win out on the entirety of that fight. But maybe they'll stick to it in the beginning, maybe they'll switch it off. I'm assuming Unfix will be going Zarya to pair in with the Winston, so you can send Winston in, obviously shield him up. compLexity, though, at the rate, they're not going for a hold in the server room. So they're playing a little bit differently.
That's what I've been saying. It's usually pretty hard to predict now what a team's going to do on defense on Gibraltar. Particular teams like to do their certain things. We do still have Harblue on that Roadhog, of course, but they're a little bit spread out. They got people up on the high ground. It's usually really powerful to have that McCree where we see him up right now. You put a Widow up there back in the day, 76, when people were playing him quite a bit more. That McCree holding that spot can single-handedly hold the defense for sure.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. REUNITED back on the attack here for a second time. Find out if they can take a relatively fast pace on the second map, or will we see potentially a third here? Comes down to this man on your screen, Harblue. He needs to hit these hooks to allow compLexity to have a good chance. And not to mention, Nicholas is playing Tracer, so a decent counter to Kib on the Genji.
Yeah, they have a very mobile defense. They have a Tracer, they have a Winston who can usually work together to fight a Discord at target, jump on them, get out, and do very well there. Kib up top, they're already poking, trying to attack a little bit. The cart just going underneath the little car wash there, as the devs used to call it. Not too much fighting going on so far. Someone's gonna have to stop this Reaper on the cart eventually, but usually the fighting doesn't happen until it makes it around this bend here. This high ground for the defenders is what they want to be holding on to.
Yeah, it looks like we do have JKW trying to get control of that high ground. He's immediately being pushed off here, and Kid towards the side. He's looking for the dashes. He's looking for some resets, but no kills coming in just yet. But REUNITED are keeping this payload moving with one man on top of it. There's Vods and Morth both chiming in. Kid's finally able to secure one. And just like that, compLexity's defense is going to be Swiss cheese as they cut through it.
Yeah, absolutely. They just push the cart right up. Completely successful. And are we going to see the same thing we just saw in King's Row?
We could. I mean, we definitely could. I mean, they didn't have 3 people on the payload the entire time, but they had quick work of that first checkpoint. But I want to point out something to a Flame, who's the next player for Splice. He actually did a breakdown of compLexity versus Team Liquid, and compLexity are using basically the same composition. They have to have an aggressive defense, but we didn't see them do that. They actually were aggressive on themselves, and that comp that they ran is not going to favor too well against this. And Kib, wow, he's going super deep here, able to get away with the help of the reflect, and that payload, it's just not being stopped.
Kib is just getting to harass them for free right now. They're up on the high ground, which is where they need to be, but this Dragon Blade is going to scatter everybody in just a moment. Finding a kill on Drillmeister, important kill there. Has his sword ready, trying to find a hit on that man in the corner. One more person goes down, Discord on him, didn't even get a chance to hurt him, and they just push the cart again right to the next checkpoint.
We're 2 minutes in here, Star. Could we see another 255, or will we see sub-3 potentially if they're not stopped at the end?
I will faint. I don't want to see this. Harblue, of course, an old school TF2 player. I have to root for the TF2 guys, even though I'm not playing it myself anymore. You still have that blood running in everybody, but he's just kind of getting walked on right now. Kib is definitely impressing me.
I mean, they have like the comp to deal with it for the most part. They have Harbu there to chase him down. They have Torque there as well. It's just they're not seeming to grasp what they need to do defensively. But they're finally going to go for the engage here. Kib off to the side towards the high ground. And Vods in the perfect position to make this Deadeye work. He's got 4 people in his sights, but those shields are going to be able to protect if he takes down Joe Meister. That's going to be the Lucio now gone. And he's looking to back away. But he's got a Winston in his face. Harbu just can't chase him down quick enough. Finally, he's able to get the kill. But will it be enough? As it looks like the rest of his team is able to chime in. Kib's able to turn around on a JKW. But I think JKW's by himself. He's just waiting for that jump, that leap, reset to come back in. And he will eventually fall to Kib. And REUNITED, they're still pushing.
This is just ongoing slaughter. This is unfortunate. I think compLexity recently did have some really good games on Gibraltar, so they felt confident. But at the same time, a lot of people saw those games.
Yeah.
So they're not surprised at anything that's happening right now. Kib is taking full advantage of him, constantly dancing around the high ground. I feel like they're scared of him coming in.
Kib hasn't died yet. He's playing this so smart. He goes in when he knows he can pick up the kills. He's going to get flashbanged up here with the help of the sound barrier coming out of Cruz. He's able to stay alive. Not to mention the Earthshatter coming through. Unfixed Balu. Both chime in and pick up kills. And even Winghaven gets the charge on a Joe Meister. And that just might be it here. REUNITED going to finish with a sub 4-minute time.
Nobody died on REUNITED. You're talking about Kib not dying. Every person survived that fight. That was a flawless showing in a 3-minute 39 time on Gibraltar. It wasn't a fluke beating NIP. This is something they're consistently doing now.
This is a time that's like amazing for maps like Nambani, Kings Row. This is a time that you would be so happy with, but on Gibraltar, the longest map is insane. And you have to give credit to REUNITED and their prep coming into this, because even back in the Battlefield 4 days, they would look all right during the season, but when it came down to land, it came down to business and to winning the prize, they would always pull through. And we're seeing a completely different team than what we saw just a few weeks.
That's a very good point, that they definitely have the LAN experience. We heard the interviews earlier that this is his, what was it, 8th Gamescom?
Sixth. That's still a lot.
I'm just giving him a couple extras because he's earning it right now. So they've done this before. They're very used to playing with each other. From the old Battlefield days, of course, moving into Overwatch.
The thing is, they talked about on the desk, this is a team of like 3-4 people with Winghaven, Unfixed, Smort, and Volatilja that's played so many different games together. I can't even count the total. I mean, you got Firefall in there, like we said, Battlefield 4, you got Enemy Territory. It's just a shame that they didn't have their other player too easy, which is what the whole team was about, REUNITED, because Winghaven didn't play for them during Battlefield. They kind of kicked him off for Drunks, who's now the manager of Fnatic. But nonetheless, they're still putting on a stellar performance. And off the back of this man, Kib, who we really kind of question, can he pull off the plays he did on LAN? And that's difficult to do.
He's definitely doing it right now, and that's, again, a really cool thing to see. Kib coming from just finding him on the ranked leaderboards and putting him on the team. I think a lot of early teams, like NRG right now, came over with a lot of TF2 pros that felt very confident together. They had an existing formula, and it didn't plan out. It didn't work that way, but we're finding new players in Overwatch that are excelling in the top of the scene.
Yep, and we're going to find out if compLexity can kind of fight their way back here, where they have a giant job ahead of them here. 3 minutes and 39 seconds. That is not easy at all. But compLexity on the back of Torque and Nicholas, the two brothers, Genji and Tracer, can they make the picks happen? Harbu's looking for some hooks as well, but Kib just able to dash around that one with that double jump. And Harbu's already gotten the high ground control. So at least have this, yes. But REUNITED, they're not looking for a fight pre-underpass.
Oh, that's an unfortunate hook right there, and they just walk forward and completely capitalize on that. One missed hook that could have gone in the favor of compLexity, but it got turned around so quickly they're going to have to wait to repush this here. It's going to be really hard to do without their tank getting the pick at the beginning. I mean, that's Roadhog's job to get the pick, not die first.
And you see Kib just being so comfortable on Genji, dashing in for the kill, dashing out immediately to get away. Torque, though, has a lot ahead of him here if he wants to be able to kind of compete at this level. He does take down Volatilja, so that's a good start here, but Kib's quickly able to turn that around back onto him, even able to reflect onto Nicholas, and Unfix is there to help out with Joe Meister falling. The Tracer out of Nicholas isn't really going to be able to accomplish too much by himself. He's going to have JKW there to help out, but Mort picks up a kill, and Kib is still not done. He takes out Nicholas finally, as he's able to chase around, use all the height to his advantage. Harbu has no chance here, and he'll eventually be executed.
Kib looks like he's just playing quick play right now. No one was looking at him. He's just having a time of it, and I actually want to ask you, on compLexity, we're seeing Tracer, which hasn't been too common. We're actually seeing Tracer on both teams. How do you feel about that pick?
I love Tracer just for the fact to counter Genji, because you can stay at range and do decently well against him, plus you can dash away from it and create distance. I don't know if compLexity are used to playing this Genji Tracer combo up against a team like REUNITED. Like you're seeing Volatilja on McCree. switching over to the Tracer just because they want to buy time. They know they just have to drag out the fight as long as they possibly can. And speaking of the fight, Kid picks up one, Unfix secures another one. Yet again, the Transcendence was used a little bit preemptively, but Torque finally picks up 2 kills. That's what we needed to see happen. Now Nicholas needs to finally chime in here for his team and for the hopes of them to win this first game, or at least play it to a third map. But it's not going to happen. Winghaven secures 2, and now we're hitting the 2-minute mark. If this next attack fails, you can say goodnight here for compLexity.
This is unreal. I want to stress again that I thought this was a pretty even game before we got started here. So this isn't just like, oh, Envious beat another team. This is surprising to me.
And I think, again, we're seeing the caliber. I think REUNITED have always been forever second when it came to tournaments until they finally were able to win some random cup that happened, actually. And they're looking to finally fight back here. The post-spawn going to come in, but not really connect on it too much. But again, they're about buying time. They're about picking up some kills. The Soundbreaker and the Transcendence being used. Shake trying to pop this one to keep his teammates alive, but they're being attacked from the backside here. Unfix will take Shake down, and Vala just not being harassed at all. Finally, the Winston's able to turn around onto him, but it just doesn't matter because Kid's going to be there. Him and Vala working well together, taking them down one by one, and REUNITED will hold again.
For a second there, it looks like compLexity actually had that figured out and actually had it. They had people on the point, and it's unfortunate they go down again. There's definitely no way they're going to be able to do this. They're at 2 minutes 50 seconds now. They would have to get the cart to the end in like 40 seconds.
Which isn't even physically possible. And compLexity must certainly going to be able to GG out of this one soon. I mean, I think we obviously want to keep fighting. Yeah, you don't want to kind of just give up when you still want to fight it out, but that's going to be it. That's going to be REUNITED taking a very quick 2-0.
You can hear the crowd cheering. I'm glad they understand how much of a great showing that was from REUNITED, who moving on to the next rounds. I can't even wait to see the rest of their matches now, see if they can continue this momentum against the rest of the teams. They have a great shot here.
Did Kid die?